Welcome to Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, a ridiculously awesome podcast bursting with insightful commentaries and intriguing conversations on the topics and issues that are on the minds of marketers, advertisers, social media, and PR professionals today.
Hey everybody, how are you? I hope each and every one of you is doing very well. This is Bob Cargill, and this is Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, episode 201, being recorded on July 2, 2025. Welcome to the show, and thank you for your interest in what I have to say about marketing, social media, advertising, PR, and who knows what might come up during one of my episodes. But I appreciate you. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate everything about you because, as you know, I like to say you are ridiculously awesome and you are a rock star, each and every one of you, because I want you to feel good about yourselves. It's very important to feel good about ourselves day in, day out. So, yes, rock stars, all of you, ridiculously awesome. Let's get on with the show. AMA Boston, that's what I'm going to talk about first. American Marketing Association, Boston chapter. You know, I was president from, fiscal year 2018 to 2020, and then 22 to 24. But I want to talk about who was president right after me, and that is Emily Cocuzzo. She was my president-elect in fiscal year 23-24, making sure I get my years straight here, and she just finished up her term as president, 24-25 fiscal year. And Emily, you are a rock star. You were ridiculously awesome as president, and you are a great leader, and you brought so many great people together this year on the board, volunteers, members, guests, sponsors, speakers. I could go on, and you are to be commended and recognized and applauded. Applause. Yes, Emily, for the great job you did as the president of AMA Boston this year. And now Jeff DeSocio is taking over. And Jeff, I know you're going to be great. You're a rock star yourself, and I am here for you, as I was here there for Emily, and as you have all been there for me when I've needed you, when I was president or just as a fellow board member. I'm there for you, Jeff, and we all are. And I know you're going to have a great year as president. And hey, if you're in the Boston area, people, join AMA Boston. That's the American Marketing Association's Boston chapter, amaboston.org. I have a few things I want to talk to you about. That was one of them. I'm going to go down the list. We'll talk 20, 25 minutes, probably no more than 30 minutes. Again, thanks for your time. Thanks for being here today. Teaching. What am I doing this time of year? It's officially summer, that's for sure. It's warm and humid outside. And when I run, you know, I'm an avid runner, and I've run Boston 20 times, 23 marathons total. When I go outside now, it's hot and humid, and quite the opposite, of course, of the winters we have up here in New England, when I have multiple layers on of clothes, and it's dark and icy and dreary. Summer, quite different. It's hot and humid, but the sun's out all day, and we have such long, nice days. I love the summer. I don't mind running in the heat. It's, again, an extreme, just like the winter is the other extreme. Sure, spring and fall might be the best seasons of the year here in New England. You know, the most perfect, if you will, as close to perfect temperatures, etc. But I'll take all four seasons, frankly. That's why I love New England. I love living here, love running here, love raising my family here, my wife and my kids and all my friends, and my professional journey has been here, most of it, over the course of my lifetime so far. Teaching. I am teaching this summer one online course at Northeastern College of Professional Studies. That's Digital Era Skills. And I'm also working on developing a new course in social media at Northeastern, and I'm really enjoying that. That's a several-month-long project. We're in the middle of it, smack dab in the middle of it. It's going really well. You know, you've heard me say this a lot of times before. I love teaching. My professional career, corporate world, was mostly at agencies, sometimes on the client side, a few big companies, RCA and Warner Brothers and Meredith Corporation and Vistaprint. But other than that, mostly mid-size agencies, small agencies. As a creative director, a copywriter, social media director, enjoyed it immensely. but I'm enjoying teaching now, and that is including 4 different schools, universities in Boston have I taught at. Recently, the last few years, I've been teaching marketing, business, and social media. I'm enjoying this chapter of my career more immensely than I enjoyed the previous chapter or chapters of my career. It's just so satisfying, so rewarding, and I hope to be doing it for many years to come. I work hard at it. I live, breathe, and teach and work social media, marketing, advertising, business, PR, related fields. I consume a ton of content online. I've added hours to my days since social media came around in the early 2000s. Started my blog in 2004 and never looked back. And that blog has carried me a long way, and my YouTube channel now over 1,100 videos. This podcast, over 200 episodes. You know, I talk about creating content all the time. I tell students, I tell clients, I tell anyone within earshot, be conspicuous in your presence on social media. The more people hear from you, the more they see you, the more they get to know you. And the more they get to know you, the more trust they have in you. And if you're using social media for professional reasons, the more likely they will be to do business with you. Yes, because they see you all the time. And seeing you, hearing you, it's the next best thing to being there in person, so they get to know you. And then they, like I say, get to trust you, and then they're doing business with you before you know it. That's a good thing. That's a great thing about social media. But anyways, you know what I'm doing this summer? I'm doing a lot of running because I have a little more time, teaching a course, developing a course, and gearing up for 4 different courses will I be teaching this coming fall, and looking forward to that. But that's the teaching aspect of my career, and I couldn't be enjoying it anymore. I mean, I don't see how I could be enjoying doing anything in terms of professionally any more than I am teaching. I spoke at DigiMarCon. It's a big conference, travels the world, and one stop is in Boston. It's the 3rd year in a row. I have spoken there on the big stage, about 100 people in the audience. This was a few weeks ago, and it was on personal branding and social media and marketing. And Jedediah and Ben and everybody, thank you for your support and inviting me to speak once again. And all the people I met there at DigiMarCon, it was such a pleasure. And I love speaking, and I want to say to anybody who's listening, anybody who's watching, besides, in addition to welcome and thank you, that I enjoy speaking. I've done it for many, many years, and I am always open to invitations, and hardly ever do I say no. Okay? Ask anybody. Ask my wife, especially. She knows that I spread myself thin in both my personal, professional lives, family life. It's my nature. And she'll sometimes say, Bob, you're doing way too much. But she also says, Bob, keep up the great work. Because she knows that's how I roll. And that's how I've always rolled. And again, it's something I tell students. If opportunity knocks, you answer that door, because you never know who is going to be on the other side of that door and what doors they can open for you professionally, personally, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I hardly ever say no to an invitation, because you never know where that one opportunity is going to lead. And usually it's to another opportunity and another opportunity and yet another opportunity. So yeah, seize the day, carpe diem. And I just got asked, speaking of speaking, I just got asked to speak at an event at Bentley College this summer. I think it's the last day in July, late July. I thank Aggie, thank you, and Adrian for the conversation today and for inviting me to speak at that event. And that will be, as I understand it, to high school students. And they asked me to speak about social media, of course, and personal branding. And I'm going to help them, is my goal, level up their personal brand on social media, and I'm going to motivate them and inspire them. That is my goal. And talk about my book over here. Where is it? Yep, 20 Jobs, 20 Lessons, A Long, Strange Career in Marketing, from junk mail to social media. So one thing I'm going to tell them is it's okay to not know, quote, what you want to be when you grow up. It's okay to turn left, turn right, stop, go backwards, start up again. You know, that's life. It's not always a straight and narrow path to the top. And that's a big common thread throughout every chapter in my book, that I had so many opportunities because I was so visible. I did a ton of networking, and that's another thing I encourage students, clients, people, anybody in business to do. Network, meet people online and in person, in real life. And I did so much of that. I always had opportunities, and I think, you know, I'm energetic, let's say that, very high-spirited, high energy am I, and I am inclined, like I said earlier, about any invitation put my way, same was it with job opportunities during the course of my career. So that's why I had so many jobs. I was visible and meeting people who were saying, hey, Bob, do you want to work for us? And even though I might have had a great job, I always thought the next job was going to be even greater. So, yeah, in some cases, I wish I did and certainly could have stayed longer. But at the same time, we are who we are. And that is my journey. And that's why I documented it in the book, 20 Jobs, 20 Lessons. Someone asked me recently, why did I write my book? And I didn't have the answer I would have today if he was asking me today. And it's what I just said to you. It's because it was such a long, strange career, so many jobs. When I left the corporate world in 2017, I had always wanted to write a book because I'm a writer by trade. And I said, you know what? I can turn that long, strange career, that long, strange journey in my personal and professional life, mostly my professional life, into a book. And I did. And that's the ultimate piece of content. And I'm a content creator. And so the book, along with all of the other content I create and share, again, keeps me visible, keeps me relevant. So I encourage you to do the same. Create content incessantly. Write your own book. Host your own podcast. Start a YouTube channel and record videos. Put yourselves out there because it will benefit you. It's a win-win for your audience, who will learn and be inspired and will be educated, maybe even entertained by you. Win for them, win for you. More doors to more opportunities will open for you if people see you. Again, they see you, they get to know you, they trust you, and then when it comes time for doing business, they're likely to think of you. Yes. So another topic I wanted to cover. This is now getting into a lesson, if you will, a case study, if you will, and that is selfies. Do I have my selfie stick here? I don't think I have it, but if you look me up, if you know me, I usually have a selfie stick. I extend it high, and I have lots of people behind me. I've been doing this for years, since almost the time, whenever that was, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years ago, selfie sticks came out. I've gone through so many. I break them, I lose them, but I have a selfie stick wherever I go and take pictures. That's why it's not here. It's in my car or in my backpack. I take pictures and I share them on social media. People like pictures of other people, as Mark Zuckerberg, Jesse Eisenberg said, as Mark Zuckerberg in the movie The Social Network, when they were founding Facebook back in the early 2000s, talking about the Facebook, and Jesse Eisenberg, as Mark Zuckerberg, said something like, people like pictures of people, faces. The Facebook is it going to be called. That's what it was at the very beginning, the Facebook. Now, of course, it's just Facebook. But people love to see each other, and they even love to see themselves. Most of us do, and especially smiling. So I encourage you to, and it doesn't mean you have to carry a selfie stick, but to take selfies, to take pictures, and share. Sharing is caring, as they say, and sharing is commanding over time the attention of your audience. They see you, they see pictures of you with colleagues, with friends, with family, doing what you're doing, whatever it is you're doing, wherever you are. And again, that's how they get to know you. They want to see you. They want to hear from you. So I love doing it. genuinely, sincerely, from the heart, but strategically, I also do it at events, with clients, on the job, in the classroom, after class, before class, around campus. I enjoy doing it. Those who agree to be in my pictures enjoy it, and it benefits them, it benefits me, and it benefits our audience. Everyone wins. 2 examples, business-wise, that one, in fact, both I've done videos about. One is Rustic Marlin. It's a store that sells signage, cool signs you'd hang on your house or your campground or on your garage, signage like and uniquely personalized to where you live or who you are. And the Rustic Marlin. That's the Rustic of Rustic Marlin. And I know they're very, very successful. And they have a store in Faneuil Hall, Boston. And recently, it was within the last year or so, I saw that they had a big bench out front. And my wife and I were there, and she helped me record a video where I said, have a selfie station like this, other businesses, especially other retail businesses. Because if you have a bench, it allows people to congregate. And there was something unique about that bench. It had many paintings, graphics, mini signs, if you will, script or block letters that said Boston or something to do with Boston. Faneuil Hall, lots of tourists. Faneuil Hall, where everybody's having fun, enjoying themselves, relax. Hey, let's sit down. Oh, we're sitting down in front of Rustic Marlin. Let's take a picture because it says Boston. We're comfortable, we're relaxed. Behind us it says Boston. We could share that on social media with our friends as we say, hey, this is where we are, kind of humble bragging, if you will. And guess what? It's also good advertising for Rustic Marlin. They're providing people with relaxation, taking a load off their feet, if you will, giving them an opportunity to take a picture that helps brand the location where they're at. And then these people say, why don't we go into this store? We're right here. They go into the store and they buy, they purchase. It's a win-win. That was Rustic Marlin. The other example I have is the W Hotel in Boston. My wife and I recently, we walk around town all the time. They had a swing out front. You know, it rocks. So like a bench, but a rocking bench called a swing. And it had the branding behind it, W Boston or Big W, I can't remember exactly, but it was right there. It was all decorated nicely. Genuinely, they're putting it there for their guests, for their customers, and people passing by. And people take pictures, they relax, and again, they think, hey, let's go inside. There's a great bar, great restaurant, great hotel. All we got to do is open the door after we enjoy sitting here for a few minutes and taking this picture that we're going to share with other people on social media, thereby not just incrementally, but exponentially increasing the reach of W Hotel to not just them who are sitting there, but to all of their friends, all of their network. It's free advertising. It's a win-win for the hotel, for the people sitting on the bench or on the swing in the W Hotel case in Boston, and all the people that see it. They're glad to see that picture of people they know, but they're also getting a plug-in is the hotel or Rustic Marlin in the other case for their place of business. So selfie stations, bottom line, have one wherever you work, wherever you're employed, whatever business you own, okay, whatever organization you run, whatever venue, wherever, whatever. Selfie stations. People love to take pictures. People love to take selfies. Little point about teaching. And I talked earlier about how much I love teaching. And this fall I'll be teaching at Suffolk University, Mass College of Pharmacy in Northeastern. Teaching marketing, business, and social media. Not all necessarily all in one class, but there is some overlap. Obviously, naturally. But what I like to do, and they can expect to, in some of these classes, be doing, is I like to use social media live. I like to have some of our discussions live, recorded on social media, because that way we're learning by doing, and that's experiential, immersive learning. And so we're learning the technology. We're learning communication skills. And we're also sharing content, which is benefiting the schools, the students, personal brands, schools, maybe attracting new students, attracting sponsors, attracting professors, and everybody wins. It's sincere and genuine from the heart. Sharing is caring. The students, the school's followers appreciate it. From a business standpoint, it helps. It helps all. It helps, hey, maybe enrollment in my class, maybe me as a professor, maybe the students as personal brands. Like I say, everybody wins. The people on the receiving end, they are seeing pictures, they are hearing voices of my students, maybe on Facebook Live or Instagram Live or Instagram Live. I could go on, YouTube, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Also, we could do it here, Riverside, like I'm using now. That's the tool I'm recording on. I'm going to put it on YouTube later. It'll go up on my Podbean podcast, just the audio. Sharing is caring, and sharing is going to benefit you and those on the receiving end of your messages. They get entertained and educated, enlightened, and you get their attention. And attention is a scarce commodity in today's day and age, with a cacophony of noise out there on social media, as well as in real life, IRL. Businesses and brands, people, we crave attention. We covet an audience, somebody to listen to us, to see us, and care about us. So it benefits us personally and professionally to put ourselves out there however we can, using technology, being ourselves, the human side of our personal brands, the human side of our corporate brands. So important. Use social media as the vehicle to put yourselves out there. Branding. I wanted to segue now into a little bit of branding. I do have props for this. I thought I had my selfie stick around. Didn't have my selfie stick when I talked about selfie sticks, but I have examples of brands and something I want to say about brands. I've said it before. Branding is not what your brand is not what you say it is. It's what your audience says it is. So you could have a great logo. You could have a great product. You could be selling something at a great price. You could have a great location. All ideal. But it's what your customers, what your audience, what your prospective customers say about you. That's your brand. It's what they say when you're not in the room about you. Okay? And I'll give you some examples. It's not a logo. It's not a color. Big example I have is I go to Supercuts here in Sudbury, Mass., where my home office is located. And I walk in, and they make me feel great. I know them by name. Each of them, they know me. Every time I go in there, there's more of them, the stylists, to remember their names than just me, but actually not necessarily so. They have many, many customers. But they do know when I log in, sign up to come in, make an appointment. They know, hey, it's Bob coming in. And Ashley and her colleagues, they all treat me so special, and I feel good. I'm not even talking about how they cut my hair, am I? That's Supercuts in Sudbury. The brand is the experience that I get when I go there. I feel important. I feel liked. I feel respected. I feel they're giving me attention. It's a nice half hour of my time. And I get a good haircut. I get a super haircut. I get a ridiculously awesome haircut. Okay? But I'm saying almost that is secondary. It's the feeling I get. And look, I'm talking about them. I'm bragging about them right now. I'll brag about another local establishment, the Wayside Inn. Yesterday was my birthday. And yes, I'm not getting any younger. I hope to be getting better. That's my goal, to get better and better every day. That's just how I am. I think it's a good goal, effort, objective, resolution is to always be getting better. And I'm not getting any younger. I can't do anything about that, but I can get better as I get older. But there, I digress. So yesterday, my birthday, the family, we go to the Wayside Inn last night, and they treated us so special. They made us feel so important, and like we were the only ones in the dining room, and we absolutely weren't. It was quite a big crowd there, all enjoying their fine food that the Wayside Inn serves and the amazing atmosphere. This is a historic inn and restaurant in Sudbury, Massachusetts that's been around for a long time, and we've been there many times, my wife and I and my family and my parents and my brother and my sister, and we just love going there. And it's for the food, yes. It's for the location, yes. It's for the ambiance, yes. It all together is their brand. Okay, it's not necessarily one thing. Food, location, yeah, did I mention? I think I did, but I'll emphasize service, how they treat you special, how they care about their diners, their customers, their guests. Thank you, Wayside Inn, for being such a ridiculously awesome restaurant, place to go to eat, but more importantly, place to feel important. And that's a brand. Do I have one more? Yes, I do. I'm going to show you this hat from Concepts. This is a store on Newbury Street in Boston, but in Back Bay, Boston. You see it there. But they're also apparently in Dubai and Union Square. I think that's also a Boston location. But Concepts, they sell clothing. It's a boutique type store, clothing and skateboards, and they have donuts there too. They have a little bit of everything, but it's all high end, and they appear to me to be very, very, very successful. They absolutely are very, very, very friendly. And my class at Fisher College, we went there for a tour, a field trip, if you will, in the spring, and they treated us so special, and they made us feel so good. And this was a marketing course, so my students were learning about retail marketing and learning about how they use social media at Concepts, and they learned so much from the people, Natalia and her colleagues who worked there. We got to go upstairs and downstairs and every nook and cranny of Concepts and learn retail, and learn marketing, advertising, and social media and branding. And my point, it's not just a cool hat and a great color that I love with a great logo, Concepts. You might think that's a brand. That's branding, but the brand is how you feel about when you do business with them, and you spread the word if you are satisfied with them. And I've been way more than satisfied with how Concepts makes me feel whenever I walk into their store. That's a great brand. It's a great store, and they are great people. I'm almost done. Secret to social media success. I've been asked that question over and over again, and I'll say it once more. Being conspicuous in your presence is what I would say is the number one way to succeed on social media. Sure, there are many other ways, okay? This isn't at the expense of all those other ways, but if you are conspicuous in your presence on social media, that means people are more likely to see you. And the more people see you, the more likely they will be to like you and respect you. Earn their trust because they are seeing you frequently. And the more frequently they see you, the more conspicuous in your presence you are on social media, day in and day out, on as many channels as possible. They see you, they hear from you, they get to know you, they respect you, they like you, they trust you, and trust, scarce commodity. Trust leads to, if you are doing social media for professional reasons, it leads to, most likely, if they're seeing you all the time, them doing business with you. So be conspicuous in your presence on social media. I will wind down. I will end with that story. We covered a lot. We talked about everything from AMA Boston to my teaching to DigiMarCon to going live on social media to branding, and then finally the secret to success in social media is to be conspicuous in your presence on social media, day in and day out, on as many channels as possible. Hey, this is Bob Cargill, Bob Cargill's Marketing Show, episode 201. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You are ridiculously awesome. You are a rock star. I will talk to you again soon.